Okay, a couple years back, when we went to the cabin on 360, uh, I've never had my psychic abilities ever tested. Most of them always came true, and when I would talk to, when I talk to people, I would always know that would, most everything would come true. I mean, I've had so many things that I predicted as came true, but Dennis wanted to, test me because I think me and David were the only ones that were there at the point. Stacy and the crew hadn't got there yet. So Dennis told me, he said, "Are you familiar with this place?" I said, "No." He said, "Do you know anything about this place where the little girl stayed or whatever?" He said, "If you're really psychic," he said, "if you're really psychic, just go, tell me which room she was in." Well, I couldn't tell him, I just knew. So I walked right into the room and blew his mind because, like I said, I'm one of the psychics that have the knowing ability and the, and the gift of sight, which clairvoyant. I'm starting to learn a little bit more about what I am, but to be tested like that and just know, that's a pretty, that's a pretty good thing. I just proved it. I didn't have to point to it, didn't have to sense it. I just knew, and that's the gift of knowing. And I think I shared a little thing about that yesterday, but I wanted to explain, how it really happens. And not only that, uh, you know knowing, just knowing things about, Loretta Lynn, when I don't listen to country music. I don't talk about her. We just heard Crystal Gale on the radio, and then bam, I knew something. So I started wondering if something was Loretta dead or whatever, and bam, she was. Same thing happened to my uncle's wife. I'm riding by his store. I see he's closed. And I said, I'm telling you, something bad happened. I don't know what, but I'm thinking something bad happened, and I didn't know. I just knew something bad happened, and of course it was my aunt had passed. So, sometimes it's good, like when I knew I was going to get a new car. I just knew it. I went to it and I knew it. But then there's sometimes, like you said, when you know somebody's going to die and you know how they're going to die, that's the worst feeling in the world. I mean, in 1997, it was terrible. I mean, you're talking about getting right on almost everybody I said was going to die, and they did. And they did exactly how I said they were. And it's terrible. It's terrible. It's awful. But, that's the gift that I have from God. But I just wanted to shoot this little video and explain some stuff.